Hey everyone, and welcome to The Explainer. I am so thrilled to have you here today, because honestly, we're tackling something that is absolutely fundamental to your financial future. We're going to break down a framework known as the 5 golden pillars of wealth creation. If you've been looking to kind of audit your own strategy against what the world's smartest investors are doing, or if you just want to cut through all that daily market noise, you are in exactly the right place. We're going to go through this step by step, distilling the core knowledge that separates the people who just play the market from the ones who actually master it. Okay, let's jump right into this. 90%. Just let that staggering number sink in for a second. According to our source material, an astonishing 9 out of 10 people who put their hard-earned cash into the stock market end up walking away with less than they started with. To put that into perspective, it's a massive, almost unbelievable reality check for anyone looking to grow their capital.
No, it's incredibly easy to just blame the market, right? To point fingers at the economy or just assume, well, I guess I'm just unlucky. But here's the truth. Luck has nothing to do with it. That 90% fail because they're flying blind. They don't have a structured, proven framework. They're relying on gut feelings or whatever's trending on social media, rather than sticking to rigid, stress-tested rules.
But that is exactly what we're fixing today. In this explainer, we are going to walk through 5 incredibly powerful investing rules that can literally save your portfolio from taking a nosedive. And these aren't just guesses. These are refined strategies straight from the playbooks of the world's most brilliant financial minds. I really want you to pay close attention to how these build on each other, and you definitely need to stick around for rule number 5, because as our source material makes super clear, that final rule changes absolutely everything.
So, let's start building that foundation with Pillar 1, protect your money. The very first rule of wealth creation is shockingly simple, actually. Just never lose money. Yet, it's crazy how most people completely ignore this in practice. The classic trap is jumping into whatever hyped-up stock is trending, purely driven by FOMO, without doing a single ounce of research. We literally see it every single cycle. Some new asset skyrockets, everyone assumes it's just going to go up forever, and they pour their life savings in right at the absolute peak. Smart investors? No way. They refuse to chase that hype. Their number one prime directive is absolute capital protection.
Look at this quote, because it is the ultimate wealth-building filter. If you avoid big losses, profits will follow automatically. By just shifting your mindset away from immediate flashy gains and focusing on capital preservation, you naturally build a super safe floor for your portfolio. You start naturally filtering out all those reckless gambles. And from that secure foundation, the upside truly just takes care of itself.
Which leads us perfectly into Pillar 2, master your emotions.
If protecting your money is the goal, well, your own feelings are usually the biggest obstacle in your way. The market is constantly swinging up and down, and this emotional pendulum, panic selling when things crash and greedy buying when there's a rally, is a notorious wealth destroyer. Smart investors follow strategy. When everyone else is panicking, they stay completely calm. When others get super greedy, they become incredibly careful. They basically divorce their money from their nervous system.
I really want you to lock this into your memory. Emotions destroy portfolios. Discipline builds them. It's so true. Even Sir Isaac Newton lost an absolute fortune back in the 1720s South Sea bubble. He actually famously said he could calculate the motions of heavenly bodies, but not the madness of people. So you see, it's not about raw brain power, it's about unshakable discipline. Discipline is the real secret to long-lasting wealth.
All right, moving right along to Pillar 3, time over timing. We have to be pretty blunt here about the difference between investing and gambling. If you're thinking in terms of days, just riding the crazy roller coaster of the daily news cycle, you're gambling. You're basically flipping a coin based on whatever the morning headlines are. Real wealth is reliably built by ignoring all that daily noise and thinking in years. Historically, the broad market grows over the long haul, and smart investors position themselves to just sit back and capture that long-term momentum. This brings us to the absolute golden rule of endurance. Time in the market is more powerful than timing the market. Trying to perfectly catch the exact bottom of a dip or the absolute peak of a rally, total fool's errand. The smart play is to find high-conviction positions, buy in, and simply give them the time they need to compound and grow. And that mindset flows naturally into Pillar 4, understand before investing. Before you allocate a single dollar, you need to know exactly what you are putting your money into. Seriously, the most dangerous thing you can do as a beginner is adopt that Me Too mentality. Following the herd right over a cliff just because something is trending on a forum. Intelligent investors have a strict, totally unbending rule. They only put their money into businesses they fundamentally understand. They can tell you exactly how that company makes its money, how it sustains its margins, and how it beats the competition.
It's a completely non-negotiable black and white equation. No understanding equals no investment. If you can't explain the business model simply, you just pass. Actually, this rule alone acts as your absolute best shield against those massive speculative bubbles that inevitably burst and take everyone's capital down with them.
And finally, we've arrived at the rule I told you to wait for, the one that changes everything. Pillar 5, the patience game.
Let's be real, investing has never been a get-rich-quick scheme, yet so many people fall into this really toxic cycle. They invest today, they expect massive profits by tomorrow, and then the second the market dips or even just moves sideways, they panic and sell at a massive loss. They completely sabotage themselves, all because they just couldn't sit still and let the compounding process do its thing.
Patience is what separates winners from losers. Honestly, once you've done the rigorous research and your downside is fully protected, the ultimate secret weapon of top-tier investors is actually incredibly boring. They just wait. The simple act of enduring market cycles without tinkering with a perfectly good strategy is the true engine of extreme wealth creation.
Okay, let's bring the whole shebang together. Here are your 5 golden pillars summarized. 1. Protect your money above all else. 2. Master your emotions so they don't master you. 3. Rely on time in the market, not timing the market. 4. Understand the business first, because no understanding means no investment. And finally, number 5, be incredibly patient. The market is absolutely going to test you, but staying disciplined will reward you big time.
Integrating these pillars represents the ultimate evolution in your financial mindset. Poor investors chase money. They're always looking for that next quick hit or speculative surge. Good investors grow it, but truly intelligent investors, they actively protect and multiply it. They've completely evolved past the frantic chase, choosing instead to focus entirely on sustainable compounding.
So I want to leave you with a final question to chew on. Are you out there desperately chasing trends, or are you operating like a highly intelligent investor, protecting your capital and strategically multiplying it over time? Thank you so much for hanging out with me for this explainer, and hey, happy investing!